What's up?
What's up? That's my little theme music. I want to make sure I got it in, but we don't have much time, so let's get started. We have Larussell on ChananRise Live today. Thank you so much for being here. How's your day?
I'm great. The day has just begun.
Yes, yes, yes. So you make truthful, heartfelt, conscious, thought-provoking music, and we thank you so much for putting that into the space. Oops. Thank you so much for putting that into this space. So where are you from? Where did you go to school?
I'm from Vallejo, California. I went to school in Vallejo, California. What do you want? Elementary, middle, high school? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, I know you have a lot of followers and fans, so I'm sure they would love to remember or be reminded if they went to school with you.
Yeah, I went to Elsa Wiedemann for elementary, Solano in middle, and Jesse Bethel for high school, as well as a continuation school called Peoples.
I know about continuation schools.
Nice, beautiful.
Yes, they are amazing. But what was that like growing up in Vallejo and going to school in those places?
Um, Standard. I don't know. I don't know. It
All
was my
right.
everyday life, so it's kind of hard to describe, but I don't know. Standard.
Okay, sounds good. So what got you into rapping and how did you start?
I always my pops used to just play like tons of music, my mom tons of music, my grandma, my uncles, they always had like beat in their cars, so I was just always kind of consumed and immersed in music. And me and my sister used to write raps over instrumentals from like LimeWire and shit, just
Oh,
starting off when I was younger. And then from there, I guess I kind of just, it just stuck with me. I never stopped.
yeah. LimeWire was definitely it. BearShare, a bit like Frost, I think that was. But yeah, there's so many different file sharing programs that I remember. um, a lot of music is low frequency these days. What is your motivation for making music at this point in life? And you seem to speak to the conscious people.
Um, Life is my motivation. I mean, I don't think I make conscious music. I just make music about my life and what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing and hearing. I mean, my senses work well, so I try to utilize them as best as I can. um yeah, I don't really set an intention to make music within a specific vibration or beyond a certain way. This is my means of expressing myself and just speaking on how I feel.
Yes, very, very authentic. Thank you. So how has this most recent project and previous projects served as a tool of expression?
All of my projects are like periods of life for me, periods of feelings. Different projects have different sounds and energies based on where I was when I created it and what was happening. So every project for me is just like every project for me is me letting go of a certain phase of me, me shedding another layer, coming out of that cocoon. I look at every project as a release of me getting over or moving on from a certain phase of life.
Nice. Yeah, I get that creativity for sure. Okay. Do you utilize your projects to talk about things you see, or do they give you an opportunity to be more personal and been about what you may be going through?
I think those two coincide for me, you know. Yeah, those two coincide for me. All of my projects, it's just life. Whatever I experience and feel, like I say, during a specific time period, kind of comes out in the art. I have a really no holds bar approach with my art. I don't really contain much of what I feel back. I'm very, very vivid in my storytelling, and I say names, and it's very personal to me. So yeah, both of those.
Nice. And what is your favorite bar or lyric? Or if you have a few.
Of my own,
Yeah.
uh, shut up and do the work. That's a simple plan. And stop trying to teach what you don't understand. You know, stop trying to teach what you don't understand. That's one of my favorite bars. There's this line by Sad Guru where he says, "What you don't fully digest, you'll throw up." And, I think that's an incredible statement. You know, like we live in a world where everyone just constantly throws up verbal vomit. You know, they don't understand, and they don't have full knowledge of what they're consuming, and then they try to go tell someone else or share it or teach it, and you just can't. You know, it becomes vomit. It's like that's not, it just it equals nothing. You know, that's all that shit is. And that's one of my favorite lines, because it's a very that's something that a child can understand. You know, like, and that's the ultimate test of understanding. If you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, then you probably don't understand it well enough.
Absolutely, I agree. That's a great lyric. Thank you. So what is your team like? Who do you have around you? Was it always like that? Were you always supported? Um,
um I've always been supported, but I haven't always had a team. But I've always had support where needed. You know, I've always had a friend who was willing to do whatever I needed to do to make happen what I wanted to get done. Now I have a team that's just full of my homies. We
nice.
don't really have direct roles or titles. Everyone is open and willing to be whatever they need to be to get the job done.
I love that. I love that. What producers and rappers have you worked with, and are you open to new partnerships?
I've worked with man, the list is, I have a catalog of 300 plus songs. The list is far too long, but yeah, I'm always open to working with new people. I just love to create great art, and I love great music. So, you know, there's no basis for that. I don't care if it comes from a producer on YouTube or producer overseas. You know, it doesn't really matter to me as long as it's great art.
Yeah, absolutely. And if someone wanted to get in touch with you and send you some things, how would they go about doing that?
The email is the best route. You know, I check the email every day, and even if I don't get to it, it gets logged. So, you know, when I do sit down on days and write, I have a bunch of beats that I've just been receiving. And, you know, but the best way to get my attention is to do great work, honestly. Like, make noise, and I'll see it. You know, I'm always watching and looking and hearing. My ears are always open. So it's like I like to work with people who are doing great shit, you know, just like myself.
Right. Absolutely. I know people will be excited to hear that because some people reached out to me and were like, "Oh my gosh, ask him this." I'm like, "Okay, I will." um, so you have been releasing NFTs before it was a thing, except for you were not using the blockchain. Tell me about GC Gold Card and what brought this about. Is it an NFT? And if you do, and if it's not, do you have plans of utilizing it in that way? You're already giving the people a utility.
Right. Yeah, it's not an NFT, and I don't plan on making it an NFT. I know everyone's pushing towards that direction, but I try to remind people that there was a world in life that existed before NFTs, and there will be one that exists after them. And I'm very focused on the real world. You know, my utilities exist with real people. I don't have to put them through the blockchain and monetize off every transaction for it to be so. Because these things are more than money grabs for me. Like, it's very personal. And when you invest in a GC Gold card, you get a physical a card. There's no blockchain validation needed, the same as with your credit card. You know, like, this is one of those things that everyone's so immersed in and delved in that they're forgetting that we also live in a real world as well, that exists and has its own perks, you know, on a personal level. So it's beyond that for me. I think the NFT space is a cool space, and I may dabble in it, but what I'm doing is just, it exists in the real world that we live in every day.
Yeah, and there's no gas fees, so
There's no gas fees. You don't have to have crypto. You talk to me personally. I have your information. I could pull up to your house and show you love. It's different.
yeah, I love that. Thank you. Do you have any thoughts on mental health and some of the hot topics happening today.
Some of the what? What was that?
Hot topics?
Hot topics?
Yeah, like I don't want to say just kind of like the health industry, racial injustice, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, mental health is very important because we all have a lot of trauma to deal with and cope through, especially artists, you know, trying to express it and clear themselves through art. Mental health is one of those things that's like, you know, there's not really a mental health, there's just a health and wellness in general. And you know, that consists of your mental, your physical, your emotional, tons of things. It's not separate, you know.
Yeah.
So just health and wellness in general is very important. And you know, we have to do, you really have to do things that bring you joy and make you happy and make you feel fulfilled.
Hmm.
You know, I've had like the biggest year of my career last year, and I wasn't really present throughout it because I was constantly in my head and focused on the next thing and just kind of drained through anxiety and shit like that. So, you know, and that affected my physical health as well as my mental, because they're all connected. You know, there's no mental health, there's just a health, and they all work together. So, you know, you have to do your part to keep them all kind of centered and aligned.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, well, I'm in the middle of actually the end of a liquid fast, where it's all alkaline and no like orgasms, no smoking, drinking, or anything like that. Have you ever done a fast, and what was your experience?
Man, I'm actually on that right now. I haven't smoked in the past few days and I've been trying to go without sex. I'm trying to go a year. And it's funny, when I got sick last year and it shut my body down, it forced me to fast in a way I never have. I was only able to consume water and I lost probably about 80 pounds. If you look at my live sessions, you see in some I was a lot bigger and then I shed a lot of weight, and now I'm able to eat again and I'm starting to get, you know, some weight back in a different manner. But it really changed my life. It made me realize how much I was over consuming, and not just food, in so many different areas, in social media, in sex and drugs, just overindulgence. You know, everything is okay in moderation.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree. It's been very interesting, just going through it. And I have a team of people that join me as well. I started this thing called Liquid Fast. So I'm really excited to see it take shape. I quit my job this year. It's the first month now. So I'm really excited to like just be out here on my own and make it happen.
That's a big leap. How does that feel?
I didn't expect to be asked a question, but thank you. It feels amazing. There's a lot of time that I've been utilizing to just get back to peace with myself, peel back the layers of the corporation because I used to work for $1 billion corporation. So it was very like corporatized and, you know, fake it, smile, all these things. And I was a manager too. So being a leader and knowing what I know about the world and what's real and what's not, I couldn't do it anymore. You know, I had
Right.
to.
Yeah,
But
I was
yeah,
in a similar situation. That makes so much sense. That's great. I mean, well, your energy looks well, you look good, so that's good that you left that. That was probably a place that you needed to no longer be, you know, it didn't fit you anymore.
I got chills. Absolutely. Thank you. That's definitely confirmation.
What
Okay.
was like your what was that push for you to jump?
Um, I was just my intellectual property had been just harvested for so long, and I knew the contracts, or not even the contracts, the agreements that I signed, you know, push that out, you know, so much. And I actually invented something for them that was life saving. Um, it's called a CO2 and smoke alarm listener. So if it notices carbon monoxide in the house, then it's going to go off and send you an alert, and it saves someone's life. And I was just like, they paid me $500 for this.
Right.
interesting, you know,
Right.
and it just was like, and then I had friends that were just like, if you are going to a job every day, then you're basically a child because you're getting an allowance for doing your chores.
Right.
And I said, and I
And
signed.
you're giving away all of your IP and equity. You know, I work for a company, and I completely ramped up the logistics system and the output that they were putting out a year, literally by 50 times multiple or more. And I never noticed the value that I brought there until I left, and they were getting me for the absolute low. You know, and you don't realize that when you work for these companies, but they know, you know, because when I threatened to leave, they always gave me raises, and that's because they knew the value, but I didn't know the value. You know, I thought $2 more was worth what I was contributing, and it's like that shit is so far from it. So it's beautiful. I mean, that you were able to notice your worth and step away. You know, and well, working for yourself is the most rewarding experience because you know, it's like all the time you invest, you know, has a grander ROI when it's for you, but it's also just, you know, you don't get that allowance. Your allowance is the work you put into yourself.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. So as soon as I heard that, I literally was started typing up my resignation, and I've threatened to quit a number of times as well. And they gave me raises and equity in the company, but it still wasn't enough. And I just was like, yeah, I'm out. And they're like, this sounds immediate. I'm like, it is. And they actually called me the other day and were like, you've been with us for 6 years. What happened? And I was just like, look, they're
Yeah,
like,
it's
well, if you
unexplainable.
ever want another job, you're always welcome. You know, we'll make you rehireable. And I'm just like,
Man, and you know, it's funny because you know, you when you're in these situations, you always think it's the job, and it's never really the job. You know, I used to think like, man, it's the job. I hate it here. I can't do it. I was married, but it wasn't the job. I was just growing out of the cocoon, and there's nothing the job can do at that point, you know. But we often go into this mindset like it's the job. The job is hindering me. The job is keeping me like, and that shit's not. You're just growing out of that cocoon. That's dope.
absolutely.
Congrats on this new journey. I'm excited. I hope you know you get to get what you're trying, what you're seeking from it.
Yes. And generally, I charge 250 an hour for these interviews. And as soon as I decided yesterday, I was thinking about maybe getting another job, just to fund my passion and things like that. But I'm not going to do it. I went live yesterday and talked about it because I did a silent Sunday yesterday, and or the day before, and I shut off all my media. I listened to spirit, I listened to the universe, and I had an amazing time reading and things like that. But I was silent as well, and it was just like, you got this. You got this. And so when I said
Incredible.
that, and then someone just reached out to me randomly, was like, oh, I would love to interview with you. I was like, okay, well, this is the price. And they were like, send me your information, I'll send it over. And I was just like, okay, confirmation again. And that's how much I would make in a day. And I make that in an hour now. So, you
How
know,
do you how I don't know if this is a question for Zoom or not, but how do you determine a rate?
um, I don't know. It was just one day I just said it and it stuck, and someone paid for it, and and now it's up and it's stuck. And I might go up, and because today's price is not tomorrow's price. So and it's just it was just what it was, and I claimed it.
What's up?
And but yeah, okay, enough about me. So what's next for you? I know you have a lot going on in this space, but what's next for you?
Um, whatever the universe brings me, you know, I'm just out here digging in the dirt, planting seeds, plowing, you know, doing my due diligence, pulling the weeds out, and whatever the fuck grows, you know, from that work is what's going to come forth. I don't really have any specific or intentional goals. I just do the work. And you know, you know, in 3 months we'll see what comes from the work I've done this first quarter, and in a year we'll see what comes from all the work I've done within that time. But I don't have anything very specific that I'm looking to obtain. You know, I just want to be great.
I love it. Do you have any mentors or anyone that inspires you to rap, or some of your favorite rappers?
To rap, not really, but life, I really love Sad Guru. He's a big inspiration. I've gotten a lot of growth and gems from him and just his life and experience. My pops is also a really great man. I've learned a lot from him and learned a lot from his experiences. And man, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of dope people I've been able to experience and learn from. But rap is kind of separate from me. I don't really, you know, I look through for people more than their talent, you know, because anybody could rap, but it takes a lot more to be a great person and to, you know, have certain values and morals.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Um, do you have any children, and what are your thoughts on co-parenting, especially during this time?
I do. I have a daughter, and she's great, amazing, and her mother is great and amazing as well. Like, we had a child young, so
Mm.
we've been fortunate to just grow with one another and learn and navigate and learn what works best for us and understand life and you feel me, learn how to accept people for who we are and what direction we want to grow. Like, her mother has helped me grow my entire business and infrastructure without expectation and without, you know, wanting anything in return, but to see me succeed and as well see her own success. So, you know, I think co-parenting is just comes down to being human and you know, genuineness. If you want to see people win, you just want to get behind and support that effort. You know, it doesn't have to be hatred because you're not married or going to spend your life together and some shit
Right.
like that. You know, like, you know, it could still be feasible and make sense.
Got you. Got you. I agree. I agree. That's true. Like us being, I have a daughter as well, and us being able to like share time and, have communication and things like that is so important. And, you know, him taking her for a month at a time and then me having her for a month at a time, it allows me to focus on what I want to build. I thought, having a child meant I need to work till the day I die, for a corporation. And seeing this all take shape is just so beautiful. And I'm so thankful and grateful, for her father and just being able to be that person for her. And even you just being, a man, for a father for your daughter, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of fathers that either can't be there or won't be there. So thank you. Thank you for putting that into the world.
Man, it stops at can't, you know, fathers who won't be there or fathers that can't be there.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
is no won't.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. All right. So what are some hobbies of yours that you partake in outside of rapping and creating music?
I like to ride bikes. I like to play tennis. I like to play basketball. I like to play frisbee. I like to hike. I like to lay in the grass. Shit, anything. I just like being with my homies and just being outside and shit, eating fruit.
Yeah. What's your favorite fruit?
I really like the yellow mangoes.
Yeah.
I love yellow dragon fruit. That shit is fire.
I got some of that in the fridge right
I
now.
don't really have a favorite. I just like the ones I like.
Nice. And then, if you can name, 5 qualities in a partner, what would they be?
And a partner, what kind of partner?
Um, a romantic partner.
Um, I think the 5. um,
Well, whatever you can come up with.
Man, I think the same qualities that would, be necessary in any partnership. I think understanding, compassion, nurturing, uh, loving, and driven. Yeah, and I don't think that's limited to romantic partnerships. I think every partnership thrives on the same web, of necessities.
Nice, nice, awesome. Okay,
And a freak. Nah, I'm just fucking around.
wait, what? Girls? What just happened?
Oh, what happened? I lost you.
Oh no. I'm not sure what happened.
Well, you're still alive. That's a plus.
I am still alive. That's so crazy. Let me see. Oh wow. Well, I guess my computer wants to mess up on me today. But thank you so much for being here with me and, agreeing to interview and all of that. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I know you only have so much time, but why would it do this? But thank you.
You're welcome. You
The
have a
powers
great
that be
night.
are. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I say you're welcome. You have a great energy and light. I appreciate the interview.
Thank you. And so do you. And I wish you all the success in the world. You're amazing and you inspire so many people. So keep going.
Incredible. What an honor. Thank you.
Of course. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
Bye.